The NHL has some iconic logos. Let's jump in and take a look at the history of every primary logo used by an NHL franchise, starting with the NHL itself. Several sites report the original NHL logo to be this one here, a yellow outlined black shield. It is also dated to 1917. I'll place it here on our list, citing one of the greats of logo histories, Chris Creamer, along with the dates that he uses on his site, but I personally have been unable to find this logo in use on anything, especially nothing dating back that far. Side note that I haven't mentioned before, when you see these bracketed numbers, they coincide with a reference you can find by following the link to my site, which has a blog post of all of the references used in this video. I had to link to my own site because there were too many references to fit in the video description below. Now back to this logo. Like I said, I'll keep it as a part of this video because I very well could be wrong, so if you have more info, please leave a comment below. The earliest in-use logo I could find comes from this 1954-1955 media guide by the league. The logo has a slightly different shield shape and is more of a burnt orange verging on red than the orange we see used up until 2005. I think most of that variation is on how things got scanned, not the logo officially taking on a different color. Another example you can see here is a guide from 1956 to 1957, and it definitely presents as more orange, but still not quite as bright as the orange logo here. The orange version of the logo was continually used up until 2005. As the lockout that canceled the 2004-2005 season ended in 2005, the league unveiled a new logo. Interestingly, the article linked here also points to this change as replacing its, quote, more than 80-year-old orange and black version, which some quick math tells me would be before 1925. Which means at least this one article in the Sports Business Journal at the very least doesn't recognize a distinction between the first yellowy one that I haven't been able to nail down a source for and the preceding orange ones. The new logo keeps the original shield shape and replaces orange with silver to mimic the silver of the Stanley Cup, the trophy awarded to the NHL champions and one of the oldest trophies in all of sports. The other major change to the design is taking the letters and changing the diagonal to be from the bottom left to the top right instead of from the top left to the bottom right. And finally, because the NHL began in Canada, there have always been two versions of the NHL logos. The other version uses L and H, both in orange and silver. L and H standing for National Hockey League, but in French as Ligue Nationale de Hockey. I'm sure I still butchered that one. Let me hear it, native French speakers. Now on to the teams that make up the NHL. The Montreal Canadiens' first logo was a simple blue C that was used for a single season in 1909 and 1910. The following season, a fancy Old English style C was designed and placed on a green maple leaf. The maple leaf, of course, is the most recognizable national symbol of Canada and features prominently on the Canadian flag. In 1911, the Old English C was taken off of the maple leaf and placed on the left breast of the Canadian sweater. In 1912, the maple leaf returned in a red outline around white, with a blue CAC in the center standing for Club Athlétique Canadien. But due to complaints of a similar designed sweater from the Ottawa Senators, the team decided to change their sweater and logo design mid-season. The new logo was a version of the original blue C but in white with a blue outline. In 1913, the Canadiens logo was redesigned to a C with an A nested inside, both in red with a slight white and blue outline. The CA still standing for Club Athlétique Canadien. I think that's probably a little bit better of a pronunciation. I don't know, probably still getting roasted in the comments. For the 1916 season, the team was officially reincorporated as Club de Hockey Canadien. The team dropped Athlétique, necessitating a change from an A to an H for hockey. In 1917, the team logo was updated to a design very close to the modern one. Keeping the C in red and the H in white, it has a small white and blue outline surrounding the logo. In 1923, the design was essentially inverted, putting the C in white and the H in red with a blue outline around the C. Fun fact for the 1924-1925 season, the logo appeared on the sleeve, and the logo on the chest of the sweater was replaced with a globe to indicate the Canadiens' status as world champions. In 1925, the team returned to the previous design and would use it for 2 decades. Finally, in 1946, the design was updated for a final time. The shape of the C is slightly squished and the ends of the C come together. Using slightly darker colors and thicker outlines, this iconic logo has remained unchanged ever since. The Toronto Maple Leafs' first logo dates back to 1917, when the team was known as the Toronto Arenas. Originally, the team logo was just a large block T, but when they added the team name Arenas, the team name was added in the same blue color. In 1919, now called the St. Patrick's, the team went by St. Pat's for short. Their logo became a shortened name in white on a green pill shape. In 1927, the team decided to rebrand in the middle of the season to the Maple Leafs. The green color was kept through the end of the season, and a new logo was designed mimicking the Canadian hockey team design with a maple leaf in green and Toronto underneath. After the season ended, the team changed their colors to blue to better match the other Toronto-based sports franchises. The maple leaf was then colored blue as well, and the team name was added across the face of the leaf, reading Toronto Maple Leafs. In 1938, the Maple Leafs design was updated to be more detailed, adding an outline and veins on the leaf in white. The team name still across the face of the leaf. In 1962, that logo was updated slightly, with the thicker outline and cleaning up the veins behind the team name to increase legibility. In 1967, the whole leaf was redesigned to be a simplified and stylized blue silhouette, keeping the name across the face of the leaf. In 1970, the design was updated again. The shape of the leaf differs only slightly from the previous design, but the font of the team name is updated to be a blockier and bolder font, and the words are straight and not arced across the face. Finally, in 2016, the Maple Leafs unveiled a new design that takes its design cues directly from that 1962 update. This design has 31 points on the maple leaf to commemorate the year 1931, when the Maple Leaf Gardens was opened, the home of the Maple Leafs through the end of the 20th century. 17 total veins commemorates the year the franchise was founded in 1917, and the 13 veins on top commemorates the 13 Stanley Cups that the team has won, tying the team's storied history to their new logo. The original Boston Bruins logo can be seen on the very first sweaters worn by the players in 1924. The yellow word Boston on a brown sweater with Bruins underneath. In between is a brown bear outlined in yellow. In 1926, that was updated, changing the font, writing Boston in a heavy arc, now brown with yellow outlines. Bruins is also inverted, now yellow on solid brown, and the brown bear still sits in the middle. In 1932, the team went with the blocky letter B, also brown with a yellow outline. In 1935, the brown was dropped for the color combination of black and gold. In 1949, the serifs were dropped off the back of the B, and the logo was put at the center of a spoked wheel, mimicking the design from the previous season for the team's 25th anniversary logo. That logo was very similar in concept, but featured a big loopy B at the center, and the years 24 and 49 on either side, the 25-year span that the team was celebrating. The spoke design was updated in 1995, the gold color a bit darker and more muted. The spokes in the outline around the B are also given a thin black outline. The outer ring is also now outlined with a thin yellow line. In 2007, that logo got updated again, adding serifs back to the ends of the B and fully outlining the letter. The following season in 2008, the gold color changed a final time, darker still and perhaps a bit more saturated, giving us the logo that the Bruins use today. The Chicago Blackhawks' original logo started with the team in 1926. It was designed by the then owner's wife and features a Native American man in profile with feathers in his hair. The monochromatic roundel has a black ring around the outside with the team's name, Blackhawks, across the top and Chicago across the bottom. In 1935, the logo was adjusted, adding color for the first time. The multicolored feathers would soon become a big part of the team's logo designs. In 1937, the man in profile was placed on white, and the feathers were colored yellow. You can see an example of this logo, though in black and white, in this photo of players in 1937. In 1941, the logo was redesigned, showing the man in much greater detail. You can see this version of the logo in this photograph from 1948. In 1955, the profile of the Native American man was updated much closer to the image that we have today. And that same updated image was lifted off the roundel and placed by itself on the sweaters in 1957, which you can see on goalie Glenn Hall's sweater here from 1957. It's always crazy seeing old photos like this where players are playing without helmets. Wouldn't want to take that slap shot. In 1959, the team logo changed again, slightly updating the design. A couple of key locations to look at in the design to see the differences is the shape of the lines in the hair and the designs of the feathers. It took a while for full adoption, however, as you can see in this program from the 1963-64 season. As a part of the seal in the top right is the older design, while pictured on the cover is a player with the new design on his sweater. I'm pretty sure that's Destin from Smarter Every Day, a man of many talents. Over time, the design subtly shifted. You can see on this program from the mid-1960s, the chin and nose shapes are more rounded still, and the design of the feathers is different from the following season when the feathers are standardized to the design that we're more familiar with today. You can see that on this program from that season. And by at least 1976, as seen here, the rest of the logo's facial features matched the logo still used by the team today, essentially giving us the same logo. Notice the almost two-tone skin tone used in the design. That was a popular design choice through the 1980s, giving an almost golden glow to the logo. This is often depicted in a logo design like this. Finally, around the late 1980s or early 90s, the team made a slight adjustment, dropping the two-tone color and settling on the design the team uses today. The Detroit Red Wings' original logo from their time as the Cougars was an Old English-style D on the chest of their sweaters. In 1927, the D was replaced with some version of the location, Detroit, across the chest of the sweater. When the team became the Falcons in 1930, they added the name below Detroit on the sweater. Here's an example of a player, Larry Ari, wearing the team uniform from that time. When the team became the Red Wings in 1932, team owner James Norris designed a new logo inspired by the first ever Stanley Cup winners, an amateur team called the Winged Wheelers. The design of the logo was a wheel with wings in red. The wheel ties in nicely with the city of Detroit, known for its car manufacturing industry. And while the logo hasn't changed very much since its creation, one slight change did take place around 1948, where the wheel was made smaller in the design and the wings were made slightly more elongated, giving us the design that we are familiar with today. Maybe not beginning with what we would traditionally think of as a logo, when the New York Rangers began in 1926, they used the word mark that they wore across their chest of their sweater as their primary logo. Rangers in red, usually diagonally. Here's an example from a store display in the early 1930s where you can see the logo on a pennant designed beside the other NHL logos of the time. That diagonal design is still found on the team's uniforms today. However, a shield design logo was used by the team from the very beginning. On this postcard that was recently auctioned off of Olli Rönnicka from the Rangers' very first season, you can see the shield design clearly as a patch on the chest of the team cardigan. Better still, Olli only played a single season for the Rangers, that inaugural season, and on the back he wrote a note saying, quote, "This is the New York Rangers sweater." Pretty good evidence for the shield design logo dating back all the way to the very beginning. By 1967, the shield was redesigned to be more angular, and the word Rangers was often displayed in white. You can see an example here on the program from the 1966-67 seasons. The following season in 1967, the badge fully takes the square design, and the words are blown up, taking up more space in the blue portion of the logo. That design can be seen here on this program from that very season. By 1971, the words are shrunk down a bit to create space for an underline beneath both the location, New York, and the lines above and below Rangers. Here's an example of that design from a program in the playoffs that very season. In 1978, the team began using a lighter color blue for their logos. Here you can see that lighter color reflected on both the logo and the words New York in the title of this program from the 1979 season. And it appears that around 1986, the Rangers made a final change, moving from the powder blue color to the color the team still uses in their logo today. Here's a program showing that color change from the 1986 season. Originally playing in the Pacific Coast Hockey League in 1945, the Vancouver Canucks logo was a serifed V harkening back to the Vancouver Millionaires, a Vancouver team predating the Canucks that used the V as their logo. You can see that V emblazoned on the team sweaters in this photo. Starting in the early 1950s, as the team joined the Western Hockey League, the team began using the iconic national Canadian figure Johnny Canuck, which I discussed in my NHL team names video previously. Johnny Canuck is seen in skates holding a hockey stick as he skates forward. The character logo even made it onto the team's sweaters, as you can see in this one here from the 1960s. Upon joining the NHL in 1970, the team had a new logo designed by having fans send in entries. The winner was a local named Joe Borovich. The Stick in Rink logo, as it is called, is a stylized C with a stick-shaped layer across the center. The logo uses the colors royal blue for the Pacific Ocean and Kelly green for the forests of British Columbia. The white outline and stick shape are for the snow-capped mountains. Versions of this logo are still used by the team to this day. In 1978, however, the team introduced the Flying Skate logo design, a radical departure both in color and design. The logo features a red outlined black circle inside and through which lines of red and yellow create the shape of an ice skate. The blade of the skate is created by the team name Canucks. In 1997, the team underwent another massive redesign. An orca breaking through the ice to create a C shape for Canucks. The orca is designed in the art of indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest. The colors for the team were also updated to be blue, black, red, and silver. In 2007, the team updated their colors to reflect the traditional team colors of dark blue with pops of green. The logo was updated to reflect this, orca in black with silver outlines in the rest in dark blue. Above the logo, the word mark Vancouver was added. Finally, in 2019, the team logo was updated for a final time, the overall design adopting a lighter color palette, dropping Vancouver from above the logo. Prior to moving to Dallas, the Stars began life in the NHL as the Minnesota North Stars in 1967, with a logo of a green N surrounded by a green circle. The end of the N is an arrow pointing up or north toward a yellow star. You can see an example from those early seasons here on this program. That logo was updated with the same green N and yellow star, but the N pulled off of the circle is now asymmetrically outlined in yellow, creating a 3D effect. first appearing on their sweaters in 1975. By 1985, this logo had completely replaced the previous version. By the end of the team's unlikely run to the 1991 Stanley Cup Finals, the Minnesota North Stars already began using a new logo in print. Seen here, a gold star surrounded by gold, and across the top of which reads the name Stars. This would evolve the following season to be a green star, and the team would officially drop the word North from the team's name, foreshadowing the eventual move to Dallas. That name and logo change prepped the team for their move in 1993, becoming the Dallas Stars. The only change for the logo was to add Dallas above the word Stars. In 1995, the green and gold color became much darker. This created space between the North Stars' identity and that of the new Dallas Stars. The team would keep that logo for the better part of the next 2 decades. In 2013, the team wholly redesigned the logo to be a silver D and star combo with a green outline. This design was updated once more in 2021 when the green color was lightened, becoming a closer shade of green to the past history of the franchise. The Los Angeles Kings' original logo was a shield logo outlined in purple and gold lines. The purple color of this initial logo is actually called Forum Blue, chosen by the owner Jack Kent Cooke, who disliked the word purple and wanted something tied into the name of his newly constructed arena, the Forum, in Inglewood, California. The shield design features the team name Kings across the top, with a tiny Los Angeles above that. Below the name Kings is an ornate crown, a depiction of the royal namesake of the team. Cooke had previously purchased the Los Angeles Lakers in 1965, who then also moved into the Forum when it opened in 1967. In 1975, the logo of the Kings was redesigned, aligning the design of the Kings logo with the design of the Lakers logo. The purple color was matched, and the little lines of motion coming off of the team name were added, like we see on the classic Lakers logo. The shield outline of purple and gold was made bolder, and the team name extends beyond the bounds of the shield on either side. The crown was also shrunk down and placed on the very bottom of the shield. In 1988, the ownership of the Kings was sold from then-owner Jerry Buss to Bruce McNall. McNall had just acquired the Great One, Wayne Gretzky, and introduced the star of the team alongside a new redesigned logo. The new color scheme would match the black and silver of the then LA Raiders. The shield shape, font, and crown design would be largely unchanged, with the exception of extending the border to encompass the team name on either side. In 1998, the Kings introduced a new logo, returning purple to the team's logo, albeit a very blue purple that would make the original owner proud. The shield, more triangular, is divided into 3 parts by crossed hockey sticks. The upper 2 over a black field, we get royal symbols of a newly designed crown in the top left and a sun in the top right. In the center section is a regal lion holding a hockey stick and a puck underneath him. The team name Kings sits below the hockey sticks, and a shortened location of LA sits at the very top across the handles of the hockey sticks. The team then took the crown from the upper left portion of the shield and used it as a secondary logo as a patch on their uniforms. In 2002, that secondary logo became the primary logo for the team. The crown features a sun on either side of the design and is adorned with crossed hockey sticks on the top. In 2008, the Kings introduced a new alternate logo, which would go on to supplant the team's primary logo in 2011. This logo drops the purple yet again and returns the old shield shape to the design. The shield is blocked in 2 parts. At the top is the large location letters LA, and in the bottom portion is the crown, now purpleless. Finally, in 2019, the Kings updated their logo for a final time. The outline of the shield is thickened, and at least in some depictions, there appears to be a slight difference in the black color, the new version being a more true black. The Philadelphia Flyers have kept the same logo since they began in 1967. Originally designed by a local design firm, the Winged P for Philadelphia was designed with the idea of flight matching the team name Flyers. The logo is mainly black and has 4 wings extending off the end of the P, and with a pop of color that comes from a circle of orange inside of the P representing a hockey puck. This logo has remained essentially unchanged since the original design. The only variations have come in the form of slight changes in the color orange over the years to match the orange that the team uses elsewhere. In 2023, the team announced that they would be going with a more burnt orange color, and the logo was updated to match. The original logo of the Pittsburgh Penguins dates back to their beginnings in 1967. It featured a circular design with the team name Pittsburgh Penguins across the top and bottom. Inside the circle is a familiar yet slightly different hockey playing penguin, complete with skates, gloves, a hockey stick, and a scarf. Behind the penguin is a yellow triangle symbolizing downtown Pittsburgh, where the Penguins play to this day. Downtown Pittsburgh, the neighborhood officially called the Central Business District, is at the heart of the city. It is one of Pittsburgh's 90 neighborhoods and is called the Golden Triangle because of its economic importance to Pittsburgh and the generally triangular shape of the neighborhood. And even from the very first season, it was not uncommon to see the triangle and penguin on its own with no circle around it, as seen here on this media guide from the first season. The following season, the logo was placed on the team's sweaters. The design was updated, altering the circle around the logo and updating the penguin to the design that we essentially have today. The penguin has dropped his scarf. The proportions move from a more realistic depiction of a penguin to a more top-heavy, upper body strength version. The face of the penguin was also redesigned to be more fierce in appearance. In 1972, the logo dropped the circle entirely, giving us their iconic logo. But we're not done yet. In 1992, the Penguins updated their logo to a modernized, abstracted penguin triangle hybrid. With its sharp angles and distinctive flair, this design remains a common retro favorite. In 2002, the skating penguin was brought back, but the gold color was swapped for, quote, Vegas gold, a much darker and more true gold color. Finally, in 2016, for their 50th season, the Penguins updated their triangle color to Pittsburgh gold, a slightly darker gold than the classic logo's yellow colors. The Blues began in 1967 with a winged musical note as a logo. Blue with a yellow outline, the design traces back to either the team's founder or their coach. Likely a mixture of the two, but things get murky sometimes when trying to pin down what originally happened. The blue music note has 4 sections of the wing coming off of the side, creating a 64th note, potentially a reference to the founding of St. Louis in 1764. In 1984, the logo was updated and given a red outline, intended to make the whole logo pop more. The city name St. Louis is also added to the top of the music note's wings, and the team name Blues is arched above in the same yellow and red outline. Definitely pops, but it is quite the choice. In 1987, the team dropped the team name from above the musical note. And finally, in 1998, the Blues updated their logo a final time, dropping the red for a dark blue and sharpening the edges of the wings, giving us the design that we recognize today. The original Buffalo Sabres logo from 1970 serves as the base design for the logo the team still uses today. A blue circle with a yellow outline. Inside the circle at the top is a white buffalo leaping from right to left, with motion lines coming off of it from above and below. The buffalo's eye is shown in red, a distinct color standing out from the rest of the logo design. Below the buffalo is 2 crossed sabers with gold handles. A saber is a type of sword that curves back towards the handle. That curve back is slightly visible in this logo. Combined, the 2 encircled images give the entire team name wordlessly, Buffalo Sabres. In 1996, the team unveiled a new logo that many nicknamed the Goat Head, a departure from the style and color scheme of the previous logo, depicting the head of a buffalo in gray and black with a red outline. The eye of the goat, buffalo, remains red in this design as well. The Goat Head logo has remained a popular alternate or throwback logo amongst many Sabres fans. In 2006, the team introduced a much more controversial logo design. This logo is sometimes called the Buffa-Slug because it looks a bit like what you would imagine to be a buffalo-slug hybrid. A yellow arcing bolt of action, the buffalo is abstracted, showing movement forward reminiscent of a lightning bolt. The head of the buffalo has horns and, of course, the red eye. But during the time the team used this logo as their primary, the team introduced an alternate uniform with the classic logo on the team's sweater, which proved to be overwhelmingly popular. And in 2010, the team decided to update the classic logo once again and use that design as their team logo. Still with the red eye, the main changes are as follows. The colors are much darker with navy and dark yellow or gold. The outer yellow ring itself is outlined in inner and outer circles of navy lines, and all of the details inside the circle are themselves also outlined in dark gray lines. Finally, in 2020, the team updated their colors to brighten them once again, giving a brighter yellow and more royal blue. The buffalo and saber designs are altered slightly and drop the gray outlines from the previous logo. And of course, as always, the eye of the buffalo remains its fierce red color. And that's how we ended up with the logo of the Sabres today. Founded in the WHA, the Winnipeg Jets' first logo was spelled out with the word Jets with a hockey stick as the J, all in white atop a blue circle with a red outline. Above and to the left of the team name is a silhouette of a jet airliner in a red circle, and below in red is the team location of Winnipeg in an almost cloud-like font, the bottom of the words arching with the curve of the circle. The team kept this logo when they joined the NHL in 1979. In 1990, the Jets redesigned their logo. The text, now in blue on a red outlined white circle, Jets is spelled out with the same hockey stick J. Winnipeg sits atop the team name with the second N combining with the hockey stick handle. An abstracted red jet flies across the team name, giving a stream of white across the top of the letters. Moving to Phoenix and becoming the Coyotes in 1996, the team designed a new logo, a Kachina-styled coyote with a hockey stick. On the sweater of the coyote is a crescent moon. The design uses the team colors of forest green, brick red, sand, sienna, and purple. In 2003, the team moved into a new stadium and designed a new logo of a coyote head howling at the moon. Like the Kachina coyote, the coyote head is also a two-tone design. Finally, in 2021, the team reverted back to the Kachina coyote design and continues to use it as their primary logo today. The Hurricanes began life in the WHA as the New England Whalers. Their first logo was a white circle outlined with a green rope. At the center is a green circle with a white W that stands for the team name, Whalers. Through the center of the logo is a harpoon, the classic tool used by whalers to catch whales. You can see an example of this logo on the cover of a game program here from that very first season. In 1979, the team had already moved to Hartford, Connecticut, and were now joining the NHL. Because of the objections of the Boston Bruins franchise over the use of New England in the team name, the Whalers designed a new logo for their first season in the NHL. This iconic logo features a whale tail in blue and a green W for Whalers. The negative space between the tail and the W create an H for the new location in Hartford. In 1992, the logo underwent an update. The tail and the W were both darkened, and a white outline was added around them. Around those elements, a field of gray was added, which is then itself outlined in the same dark blue color as the tail. Finally, in 1997, upon moving to North Carolina, a new logo was designed to go along with the team's new name, the Hurricanes. The new logo is a black, red, and white swirl, creating the shape of a hurricane as seen from above. You can see that logo on the background of this 1997 media guide from the very first year after that move. And the team has used that logo ever since. Oh man, we're back to my French pronunciations. Beginning life in the WHA as the Quebec Nordiques, the now Avalanche's original logo was a red with blue outlined letter N that was shaped like an igloo. Off the side is a red hockey stick and a blue hockey puck. This logo was used on their uniforms from the very beginning in Quebec. Especially early on, this logo was put inside a white circle with a red outline, and the team name on top and location across the bottom. In 1995, the team moved from Quebec to Colorado, becoming the Colorado Avalanche. The new logo is of a mountainous burgundy A in front of a blue outlined circle. A snowy peak at the top wraps around behind the logo, and the snow becomes an avalanche, the team's namesake, across the face of the A. The team has continued to use this as their primary logo ever since moving in 1995, with what appears to have been slight adjustments to color towards the end of the 90s. Founded as a WHA team in 1972, the Oilers logo has remained remarkably similar throughout the years. The oil drop logo, as it is called, is a blue circle with an orange oil drop at the top. The team name Oilers appears to be running, as if wet, from the center of the logo down to the bottom. Throughout the years, there have been slight color changes, sometimes slightly darker blue and orange, sometimes slightly lighter. In 1996, we see the biggest departure of all of the logos, using a very dark blue and swapping the orange entirely for a bronze color. The entire logo is then outlined in red. That logo change lasted until 2011, when the logo was changed back to the previous color scheme, specifically choosing the color royal blue of the logo from when they joined the NHL in 1979. In 2017, the team reverted the blue color back to the pre-2011 blue, but opted for an even brighter orange color. And then in 2022, the team announced that it would once again return back to the 1979 color scheme. Founded in 1972, the Flames were originally in Atlanta. The team's first logo sought to be very modern, a red stylized A whose center point is connected by two flames. The logo was actually designed at the exact same time by the exact same person as the NBA's Atlanta Hawks Pac-Man logo. You can see here how cohesive they look side by side. In 1980, the team moved to Calgary, becoming the Calgary Flames. The team designed a C with flames coming off of the back, all in red with a yellow outline. In 1994, the team added a black outline around the logo. And finally, in 2020, the team decided to drop the black outline and returned to a retro-inspired flaming C that they still use to this day. Founded in 1972, the New York Islanders logo is a blue circle. At the center of the logo is Long Island, specifically Nassau and Suffolk counties, depicted in orange. Underneath is the team name Islanders, also in orange. At the top of the logo is a white NY for New York, and the long edge of the Y extends across the counties, creating a hockey stick with 3 orange tape lines across it. Beside the stick is a white and orange puck. The color choice of blue and orange may be attributed to the flag of Nassau County and its blue and orange color scheme. Could also come from the blue and orange of New York City itself. Here's an example of the logo from the very first season. On this game program, you can see the logo in the top left, and you can see another version of the same logo with orange and white outlines on the chest of the goalie's sweater. In 1995, the team released a logo that would unaffectionately be called Fish Sticks because of the logo looking like a mascot for food products. The logo features a fisherman holding a hockey stick behind the name Islanders, which is underscored with a wave. The blue color was made more navy in this logo, and teal was added to the color scheme. Behind the fisherman is a hockey net. That logo proved to be immediately unpopular and was hastily replaced with an update of the original logo, but in a new navy color in 1997. Finally, in 2010, the logo was updated for a final time, bringing the colors much closer to the original. Additionally, the hockey stick was given a fourth stripe, now representing the 4 Stanley Cups won by the Islanders franchise. The New Jersey Devils began as the Kansas City Scouts in 1974. The original logo was a white circle with a red outline. Inside, in blue, is the team's namesake, the Scout, a famous statue of a Sioux Native American on horseback that overlooks downtown Kansas City. Beside the statue, in yellow with a blue outline, is KC for Kansas City. The letters are combined into a single shape. You can see an example of this logo on the game program from that first season. In 1976, the team was moved west to Colorado and became the Colorado Rockies, which would become the name of Colorado's Major League Baseball team years later. The team opted to keep the same color scheme, which matches the flag of Colorado, blue, white, red, and yellow. The team designed a new logo of a mountain in blue, a white slash across the center recreating the flag of Colorado, complete with the red C and golden yellow circle at the center. An example of that logo can be seen on this yearbook from the inaugural season as the Rockies. In 1982, the team was moved yet again, this time to New Jersey. The name Devils was chosen, and the team wanted to create a logo to match the name. An NJ hybrid letter for New Jersey was designed, the top of the J sporting devil horns and the bottom a devil tail. The letter is in red because, the devil, while it is outlined in green for the Pine Barrens said to contain the cryptid. Green also matches New Jersey itself, which is nicknamed the Garden State. All of that is placed on a white circle outlined in the same green color. Here's an example of that logo from the inaugural game of the New Jersey Devils. Finally, in 1992, the color green was dropped for black. The red-green combo had actually always been quite polarizing, being a classic Christmas color combination. Since changing the green to black, the logo has remained the same ever since. The Washington Capitals began in 1974. The original logo used by the team was a wordmark logo, team name in large blue lowercase letters, and location name in small red capital letters, sitting atop the first 3 letters of Capitals. The T of the team name is a red hockey stick, with a small blue hockey puck extending off the end of the stick. On either side of the hockey stick is an alternating red and blue star pattern, 3 on each side, somewhat like the 3 stars of the flag of Washington, D.C. The alternating pattern is also reminiscent of patriotic bunting, like what you would see lining the streets or along the edge of someone's roof during the 4th of July. In 1995, the Capitals unveiled a new logo called the Screaming Eagle. The logo is of a bald eagle, the national bird of the United States, soaring with a talon outstretched. In the wings of the bird are 5 bronze stars, and the whole logo is outlined in a new blue color. Often below the eagle is a wordmark of the team name, Capitals, now in all caps. In 1997, a second logo was added to the mix, used pretty interchangeably with the Screaming Eagle logo. The logo is of the dome of the U.S. Capitol building, flanked on either side by a bronze star. Behind the dome are crossed hockey sticks. Below is the team name Washington Capitals, and below that, in between the hockey sticks, is a hockey puck. Finally, in 2007, the team unveiled a new logo design. This design takes its inspiration from the original logo, reverting back to the original color scheme. The team name Capitals is again all lowercase and in blue with a hockey stick T. Extending off the end of the hockey stick is a red puck, and above the beginning of the team name is the location Washington, all in red with 3 red stars above it, now directly referencing the flag of Washington, D.C. Additionally, a new eagle logo was designed to go along with this one. Wings outstretched, the overall shape of the eagle creates a W for Washington. The tips of the wings in red, while the blue portion clearly creates a W shape. The negative space below the blue creates the dome shape of the Capitol building, the team's namesake. The San Jose Sharks joined the league in 1991, and their first logo is a triangle with a black shark extending out of it. The shark is snapping a hockey stick in half with its bite. The inner line of the triangle contains the team's Pacific blue color, a similar shade as used by the California Golden Seals back in the day, a previous hockey franchise at the historic roots of the San Jose Sharks, as discussed in my previous NHL video. The triangle shape of the logo is a reference to the Red Triangle, an area off the coast of California that extends from north of San Francisco Bay to south of Monterey Bay, where a disproportionate amount of great white shark attacks have happened in the United States, adding up to more than 1/3 of U.S. great white shark attacks happening in this one location. In 2007, the logo was updated as the league transitioned to a Reebok uniform system. The new design is an update of the original, keeping the triangular shape. The shark is more detailed and has the teal coloring across the top of its head. Its eye now is orange. The ferocity with which the shark bites into the stick is also amped up, intentionally bringing a fierceness to the logo. In 1992, the Ottawa Senators returned to the NHL. Their logo was that of a Roman general or a centurion. A circular logo was designed with the general at the center wearing a helmet, the red plume crest extending off of the back of the helmet in an arc, and wing shapes extending behind that. The visor of the helmet contains a detailing of laurel leaves. The gold outline of the circle on the right contains the team name in English, Ottawa Senators. In 1997, the logo was updated slightly. The team name was removed to better represent the bilingual fan base, and in its place, the laurel leaves were moved from the helmet onto the golden outline. Early on in the team's history, an alternate logo of a three-dimensional centurion was designed and used as a secondary logo. In 2007, the team decided to make that design the primary logo for the team. You can see much more detail in the face and helmet, and you can see the laurel leaves remain along the border. Finally, in 2020, the team announced that they would return to an updated version of the old logo design. The gold color was updated to a more bronze gold, and that color also replaces the red outline of the wing-shaped cape extending behind the Roman soldier. Joining the league in 1992, the Tampa Bay Lightning's original logo was of a gray circle with an outline in blue, with a black and white lightning bolt shooting across through the center. Across the top in a cursive script is the team location, Tampa Bay, and off the side of the lightning strike, at the bottom is the team name Lightning. In 2001, the team changed the blue color to a more dark blue in an attempt to make the logo more readable. A redesigned logo was introduced in 2007 as a part of the same league-wide Reebok uniform upgrade mentioned before. Keeping generally the same elements, the cursive text of Tampa Bay is swapped for block letters and the team name is dropped, allowing the lightning bolt, now with a streak of blue, to speak for itself. Finally, in 2011, the team unveiled a new logo, simplifying the logo design. All in blue, the logo is now simply a dark blue circle with a dark blue lightning bolt shooting through the negative space at the center. Joining the NHL in 1993 under Disney ownership, the Ducks designed a logo for the then Mighty Ducks of Anaheim in-house. The logo was a duck-billed hockey mask in white over two crossed yellow hockey sticks. Behind those is a black circle atop a green triangle providing the logo shape. This logo would then make its way into the Mighty Ducks D2, a logo Emilio could be proud of. Emilio! But in 2006, the team said bye to Emilio as the team had been purchased by new, non-Disney ownership. A new logo was designed featuring the team's new shortened name, Anaheim Ducks. The logo is mainly a word mark of the team name Ducks under the location Anaheim. The new colored gold is featured on the face of the letters, and the accent color orange creates a drop shadow behind the letters. The D of the team name takes on a distinctive design to create a webbed foot of a duck. In 2013, the webbed foot D would become the team's primary logo on its own, completing the logo design that the Ducks use today. Beginning in 1993, the Florida Panthers' original logo was of a panther pouncing forward, claws outstretched. The panther is blue and an orangey straw color, with red accents on the paws, tail, mouth, and eyes. The team kept that logo for nearly a decade and a half. When the team redesigned their logo, muted versions of red, blue, and now tan appear on a shield shape that represents, quote, courage, pride, and protection. The panther on this primary logo was designed to be a more mature panther, almost regal. The red tab across the top of the shield, which reads Florida, was designed from a similar tab style above the 101st Airborne shield. Like I said, the tab says Florida on the primary logo, but at home games on their jerseys, the tab reads Panthers. The original Pouncing Panther design was redesigned in the new style and color scheme, and is used still as a tertiary logo by the team. And since we're here talking about tertiary logos anyway, the secondary logo that the team uses today features the same tab design as the primary logo, but in the place of the rest of the shield is a panther prowling over top a rendition of the Florida state flag. And actually, I would argue that it is a much better flag than Florida's flag, which is seen here, with its wildly busy and wordy seal, which is something that should be on paper documents and not flown on a flag 50 feet in the air. If I've learned anything from Roman Mars and CGP Grey about flag design over the years, it should be simple and practical, and a seal is neither. But this redesigned flag that's a part of the Panthers logo from 2016 would be a worthy upgrade for Florida. Hey, someone check and see if Florida has it together enough to get a flag referendum going. And I'm being told that everything is actually on fire and an alligator is in charge. But hey, that's just Florida. What can you do? As mentioned in my previous video, the Nashville Predators were founded in 1998 in Nashville, Tennessee. The name and logo were chosen in part because of the skull of a saber-toothed cat that was found in Nashville in the 1970s. The original logo for the team was just that, a head of a saber-toothed cat. The outline around the head is a vibrant yellow, while the head is primarily white and orange with blue, gray, and slate accents. It feels almost mechanical. In 2011, the logo was updated. The Predators' gold color, which surrounded the previous logo, is now the main accent color slashing across the saber cat, while shadows are shown in dark blue. The goal of the redesign was streamlining the 90s era logo, simplifying it, and re-establishing a new focus on the gold color as the team continued into the future. Named after the state bird of Atlanta, the Winnipeg Jets were originally named the Atlanta Thrashers. A shield-shaped design for the logo features a brown and orange thrasher holding a hockey stick in its wings on a navy field. An arc of light blue accents the top of the logo. Upon moving to Winnipeg and becoming the Jets in 2011, thus returning the name to Winnipeg after the previous Jets left for Phoenix, a new logo had to be designed. This logo is a white circle with a point at the top almost from a compass, pointing north, perhaps a nod to the ownership group, True North Sports and Entertainment. A thick navy circle encloses the white, and a band of gray outlines that. In the white is a two-tone gray jet over a two-tone red maple leaf. The design on the Jets logo features more muted colors and sharper angles, but the overall design still used today is inspired by the roundel of the Royal Canadian Air Force seen here. Joining the league in 2000, the Columbus Blue Jackets originally announced a logo in 1997, years before the team would take the ice. That original logo is of Stinger, a lime green bug with big red eyes and gritted teeth. In his hands, he holds a hockey stick, and he is wearing a blue Civil War style outfit and hat, which is the namesake of the team. Below him is the team name on a blue banner, Columbus Blue Jackets. Stinger would go on to be the official mascot of the team and appear on patches on the jersey. But in the lead up to the franchise joining the league, a decision was made to come up with a different logo. When the team took the ice in 2000, the logo that was on their sweater features 3 letters, CBJ, for Columbus Blue Jackets, which replaces Stinger over the team name of the previous logo design. The C and B are overlapping red with white stars, and the J is formed out of a hockey stick in that same lime green color, almost a yellow, from the previous logo. Atop the logo and handle of the hockey stick is a two-tone blue and gray star. You can see an example here on this program from the inaugural game against the Chicago Blackhawks. In 2003, the team introduced a new logo that would go on to become their primary logo in 2007. The design is based off of the state flag of Ohio and its unique pennant shape, a similar idea we've seen previously with teams like the Columbus Crew of the MLS. The Ohio flag wraps around the two-tone gray and white star, symbolizing Columbus's status as the capital of Ohio. The Minnesota Wild returned NHL hockey to Minnesota in 2000. Their logo was designed as an intentionally vague pictogram of the Minnesota wilderness. In the team's colors of Iron Range Red, Forest Green, Harvest Gold, and Minnesota Wheat, the scene depicted is of evergreen trees against the red sky and a setting sun or perhaps a rising moon. Below the tree line is a stream which makes the mouth of a wild animal in the overall shape of the design. And what would be the animal's eye is a North Star, paying respect to Minnesota's previous franchise, the Minnesota North Stars. And I've got to say, great logo. Whatever the animal, bear, mountain lion thing is, it is one of my favorites personally in the NHL, and it is the only logo that the Wild have used since they joined in 2000. Taking the ice for the first time in 2017, the Vegas Golden Knights logo is of a Knight's helmet on a shield. The shield is black to represent, quote, power and intensity. The helmet and outline is gold for Nevada being the biggest gold producer in the US, and the steel gray accenting the helmet is meant to represent, quote, strength and durability. The opening of the helmet is shaped like a V for Vegas, giving a simple but recognizable logo for the team that brought professional hockey to Vegas. Finally, the newest addition to the NHL, the Seattle Kraken, joined the league in 2021. The logo was designed to be an S shape like the historic team, the Seattle Metropolitans, a Pacific Coast Hockey Association team that became the first American hockey team to win the Stanley Cup. The design uses the team colors of deep blue, ice blue, shadow blue, boundless blue, and red alert. That's a lot of blues. The S has a tentacle coming off of it and a menacing red eye, alluding to the mythological sea creature that gave the team its name, the Kraken. And that does it for how every NHL team got its logo. If you enjoyed this really long video, make sure to like and subscribe. It takes a long time to put a video like this together. And if you liked it, be sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel. I actually think that some of my shorter ones are some of my favorites. Let me know if you agree down below. And until next time, thanks for learning something new with me.